happened. He got angry at a reporter for a totally fair question and refused to answer.
And Mr. Biden, what is your response to the New York Post story about your son, sir?
I know you'd ask it. I have no response. It's another smear campaign. Right up your alley. Every question you always ask.
And yet, you wouldn't know any of this if you read mainstream sources. All you would know is that people inside the New York Post had some reservations about publishing the story. Okay, I mean, that's fine. People inside newsrooms should always have reservations. But now that the emails have been published for several days, and the Biden campaign hasn't denied a single one of them, shouldn't we all admit that they're true and move on to explaining why or why not they're important? No. Instead, Mediaite published another story in a similar vein that Fox News' news division had passed on reporting the emails first, provided by Rudy Giuliani over credibility concerns. Again, the implication is the same, that the sketchy chain of events was so bad, even Fox News passed on it. And actually, I think the story looks good for Fox, but it raises the same question that I keep posing to you. It's great that they had reservations, but now that they are out there, are they true or not? Nobody in the mainstream media seems interested in pursuing an answer to this question, because I think we all know the answer. If you think that the Biden campaign would quash this thing the moment it was published and prove that they are fake, then you're out of your mind. And it leaves us with the last excuse that the mainstream media knows exceptionally well to push when times are especially tough. You guessed it, it was Russia.
Russia. So I wanted to just take a quick moment to let my perspective on this be known to my subscribers. I believe the emails are legit. The information is coming from some definitely shady sources. Rudy Giuliani, wouldn't trust him as far as I can throw him. I think Steve Bannon's involved in it as well. So shady people. The story sounds shady. Laptop left behind, and the guy went in the laptop and went through the emails, and sounds very shady. But when I look at the totality of the evidence, I really lean towards the emails being legit. One of the things that I look at strongly is the fact that the Biden campaign has nothing to say about it. However, that in itself is not necessarily proof of guilt, because when you're dealing with these types of smear campaigns, the very act of you acknowledging it gives fuel to it and can help to make it even worse. So let's say, for example, the story is actually fake. It's completely made up. If Biden responds to it, that's going to get media coverage. The fact that the story is out there and Biden's not really saying anything, and we definitely have covered many times, liberal media is definitely very biased. So they don't want to cover this any more than conservative media would something that makes Trump look bad. Now, if they do choose to cover something that makes Trump look bad, it would be as an apologist. They would try to weasel their way around it and try to make it, it's not that big of a deal because blah, blah, blah. And then maybe focus on the way that mainstream media is covering it rather than the substance itself. So it's not that we're challenging what mainstream media is saying. We're just challenging how they sensationalize it. So a story about an atomic bomb going off where it's factual, an atomic bomb did go off, but we're not going to talk about the discussion about the bomb going off. We're going to talk about how mainstream media talked about it in a way that was, they just really over the top and sensationalized it, right? Okay, fine, they were over the top, but what they reported is factual. A bomb did go off. So that's the thing. Conservative media will take that approach to sort of downplay something that makes Trump look bad. So we already know mainstream media is not going to want to talk about this. But by Biden not responding to it, I think it empowers them to be sneaky and to just drop the story and it's nonsense and they're just trying to do an October surprise and then move on to talking about other stuff. But the thing is, if Biden responds, I don't see that working. They're going to have to, not that they have to, but I think that's going to push things to the point where they're going to cover it. I mean, how is Biden going to respond to this and then they're not going to cover it? That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, none of this makes any sense, but so I think Biden responding to it, now that's going to get coverage and now it's going to sort of amplify it more. So perhaps that's a strategy that's being played. But my instincts tell me it's accurate. Hunter, definitely, I've always felt that he's corrupt. I know there were certain games being played where they're trying to smear Biden through his son, and there are certain people who want to play games on the left about it. But it's like, look, guys, he didn't have any qualifications. Well, not that would warrant what he was getting paid, but yet he's over there getting paid all this money. Like, let's be real. Like, something shady definitely seemed like it was going on. Now, the nonsense about trying to set up Biden, that Biden was doing a quid pro quo with the holding up the funds. No, that was nonsensical, right? That was nonsense. The Biden stuff with the salary he was making didn't make any sense. It kind of reminds me of Trump's children. Gotta love it. Kind of reminds me of Trump's children doing jobs they're not qualified for, right? Getting paid all this kind of money, getting these great opportunities just because they're the children of the president of the United States. Nepotism. So yeah, I think the emails are real. I haven't seen anything that's actually illegal. If there is anything that might be warranting of an investigation, I think it's going to be on Hunter and not so much on Biden. But I think it's real. I think these emails are legit. Obviously, very shady of them holding on to it until just before the election. You know, there are people on the conservative side who are buying into the nonsense about they're trying to do this mail-in ballots to cheat in the election, right? But there's no talk about this thing being released just before the election, right? Trying to do mail-in ballots, which allows people to vote safely, that's cheating, and clearly the Democrats are trying to cheat. But dropping a story like this just before the election, that's fine. Now, let's be real, right? Like, we don't play those games, those biased games over here. Let's be real. $750 in taxes. Kind of convenient timing for a story like that so close to the election. There's certainly things about Trump that they're dropping, but, and I hate to do the competition thing, but I don't think anything has been this shady. This is a laptop with emails, whatever, supposedly, that they've been sitting on for, what is it, like a year or something? Been sitting on it for a year. Supposedly FBI has had the laptop. Where that went, nobody knows. And now you drop it? Now, as far as I know, no one's been holding dirt on Trump that they just now released. What I see happening is both sides are trying to dig up any dirt to go against the opponent. So the taxes thing has been something that they've been working at, and different things have come out and different conversations, but it's not like they've been sitting on the taxes thing for a year and all of a sudden, boom, October surprise. No, this has been an ongoing effort for some time to reveal the taxes, which could easily be solved by Trump simply releasing his taxes, right? Anyway, I just wanted to say that, get that out there, just to be clear. I don't want to be affiliated with mainstream media who are playing their games and stuff like that. I have no problem putting it out there that I believe Hunter. Okay, we don't know the details of what exactly happened. All I'm saying is I think the emails are legit. The story behind how they got the email and the laptop and stuff, that could all be shady, but I think the emails and what's being shown is actually legit. Now, I know they're trying to get into some child porn stuff. I don't know what that's about. Probably nonsense, but at least the substance of the emails, I believe, are legit. Do I think it's relevant to this election? Unfortunately not. Normally it would be, or it should be something that's critical in terms of this election. But unfortunately, we have two individuals who are coming with a lot of baggage. And I think the baggage war is won by a landslide when it comes to Donald Trump. He is the one that has the ultimate baggage. So the fact that Biden might be coming with some baggage as well, it's not really relevant when your choices are between two awful candidates. It's not like we have a decent candidate and then we have one that's like really corrupt. Like, okay, no. You got a very, very bad and dangerous candidate, Donald Trump. And then you have a very bad, inept, slave to the corporations and the elites candidate Biden, who might have done some unethical things regarding his son and Ukraine. As Trump says, it is what it is.